Hello, hello. It is Saturday. For us, it is a busier Saturday, I will admit. We had a 6K this morning, soccer game kind of after that, and then we are looking forward to a ballet recital for my 5-year-old this afternoon. So busy Saturday, but I'm so excited to take a break from that for a little bit, be with you. This will be a quicker episode just because we do have a lot going on this Saturday. I am Becky Bennell, and I am owner of Luca Haven Design, a purpose-driven interior design company in Grand Rapids. And today we are going to talk about how we personally cultivate and create those spaces to connect in our own home. We have gone over so far, we've talked about why connection is important. We have talked about why mission is important and how that comes into our home. We have talked about why intention is important and how that comes into our home. So today we're going to kind of continue on in this last little session here for this series and talk about how we actually cultivate connection and create spaces for that in our own home. So we started just like how I have gone over how I just urge you guys to start. And that's with an empathy exercise. We went through our home. We talked about, our everyday, what are our actions, what are our thoughts and feelings about that? How do we connect with our kids in our home? How do we build relationships? How does that look with guests and different ranges of guests too, right? Close versus more distant, maybe guests coming into our home. What does that look like? And we did that empathy exercise and we understood, okay, where are the gaps in our home with how it can support those connections, those relationships that we want to build? Where are those gaps? Because that's where we want to start. And when we see those gaps, we start brainstorming different ideas. Maybe some are larger ideas, but maybe some can be solved with really quick things that you can do over a weekend. And you assess after you come up with some solutions, where do you want to start? Right? Where's the biggest gap? Maybe it's what's the easiest thing to implement. And it's going to be different for everybody, but it all starts with that empathy exercise. So how are you doing on that? Did you have find time to do that together as a family? Or are you making time maybe this weekend to do that? Because once you have that empathy exercise, you can start to understand those gaps, and then you can start brainstorming. So I'm here today to just give you ideas, maybe inspire you to some ways to solve those gaps and the way we did it in our home. And I think the first one for us, after we did our empathy exercise, was our entryways, right? This is the first place people come to. And whether it's coming in from the garage or coming in through our front door, both needed help. So first, in the mudroom, which is coming in through the garage, we use that every day. That is our family entrance. And the kids would constantly be leaving shoes out, throwing them here and there. We needed lockers, and we needed lockers fast. So you can build those in, or we honestly purchased some and modified them slightly from your typical Home Depot or Lowe's. I can't remember which, but we did modify them to fit our needs. That was our baseline start. And so now the kids have their own drawer to put their shoes in, and shoes are put away, and they have places for their coats. And each locker has a name on it so they can feel like it's theirs, that they are very welcome here and they have a place to put their stuff. We added a bench and coat hooks and then a carpet on the floor because little kids, oh my goodness, they bring in so many leaves and mud and water. And so we needed a carpet to just take care of everything, easy to clean in there. That's how we implemented some changes in our mudroom. And then our main entryway, honestly, this was a little bit low-hanging fruit for us. We just simply added some coat hooks and already fabricated bench right there in our entryway. We already had a console table there so people can come in, set their stuff down, take off their shoes, hang their coats. They know where they can put things because we didn't honestly have a good spot for that before. So now guests can easily come into our space and know exactly where they can put their stuff. And then as you travel in, we are in the middle of updating our living room. For the most part, we have it, but there are still things we need to do. And so the first thing that we had, the gap that we noticed, is our 2-couch system just wasn't working. It did not feel like we were intimately connecting as a family during movie night. There wasn't enough room. The couches seemed far apart. So we got a big sectional. We love to cuddle during movie nights, and there's plenty of room to do that. You feel a little bit more intimate when you're on a sectional together because it's all one couch still. And then we had to make it big enough because we also host Life Group here, which is our church group. And we're a family of 6. One of the other families is a family of 6, and then another family of 4. So we needed to make sure that there was lots of space available for us to connect. But then we also have 2 chairs that are side by side, pretty close together. And those are for those times where you just have that one, like that special friend over that it's just meant to have that deeper conversations with, so you feel like you're not spread out on this big couch, but that you can come together in these 2 chairs over a cup of tea and have those great conversations. And then we made sure that we had a play area for all the kids that run around our house, separate from where the adults have conversation. That way we could have those conversations and not be interrupted or feel awkward in maybe having the deeper connection that we wanted. So we do have a separate area away from the adult section that kids are freely and able to play. The other thing that we are in process of adding to our living room is a big coffee table. And this is because we love to play games. Our niece used to live with us, and we would play Pandemic like once a week at least, probably more than that. And we still love to play games together. Our oldest being 9, we're starting to play more games. And so it was important for us to have that big coffee table that we can play games, that we can spread out food during movie night, have that popcorn right there as a family together. But then it still allows enough room for when I want to have friends over and do yoga. Then moving into the kitchen, another low-hanging fruit is our coffee corner. So we wanted to easily offer and have coffee available. So we picked up something from actually Home Depot, I think, and it works for us right now. We're already spinning our brains of how we want to make that even better and work for us even better. But for right now, it works. There's a place to have coffee. We can make it easily. There's mugs right there. Our guests can come up and get their coffee very easily whenever they want. And when we were building the house, we made sure our island was big enough to support our 4 kids. This one's obviously a bigger change if you already have an island. We did know we wanted a big family when we built our house. And so we made sure that our island was big enough to support 4 kids, because I knew we wanted to spread out and do cookies and have them there when I was cooking or baking. And so we made sure that our home supported us in that. But another easy thing to do is at your dining room table. If you love having guests over and want to make it easy, always have seats available and make it not feel like a big deal when they come over, because people will come over more often. We always have 2 extra seats available, or we did until my daughter broke one. So we have to get another one, but we always have 2 seats available. And I always say there's extra food. There's always extra food. I'm always welcome to have guests for dinner, and just make it easy for them to come over. So those are some of the things that we did downstairs. Another thing we did is we assessed our family. We decided to homeschool. And so after 2020, the way our house was, or the way we went through our house, had to change. And so our office became our homeschool space, or at least kind of that homeschool hub where we can easily bring bins out into the living room, which is actually where we do a lot of homeschooling. But we changed our office. We realized that's not the room we needed right now for our family to cultivate those connections together. We needed a homeschool space. So we transformed that. And that was a bigger project that we've done. And then as you head upstairs, in designing our daughter's new room, we are in the process of remodeling a bedroom. And in that, we are very intentional to have richer relationships between our daughters and also between their friends. Our oldest girls are 9 and 7. And so those friendships are becoming more and more important, especially since we homeschool. They want other friends than their sisters sometimes. And we made sure that their room supported that. So their beds are full-size beds instead of your typical twin bed above the loft. So you can have 2 girls in each bed. Sister nights are big in our house, and we needed to make sure that all 4 kids could sleep in those beds. And then there's also a sitting area for their friends to just hang out with. There's going to be at least 4 seats there. 2 of them being a couch actually that can pull out. So that way, when they have extra friends over, there's plenty now beds for everyone to still be in the same room, to come together and have fun. And that was important for us. And then in our bedroom, I love to do devotionals. But if you have ever had a baby and a squeaky door, you know that they do not go hand in hand. So I was having a hard time going downstairs or going outside to do my Bible study. And so we just added a really easy chaise chair to our bedroom so that I would have a place to sit and do that devotional time. And then we added a little end table with a Keurig, simple Keurig. In the basket is a whole gallon of water so I can easily refill it and make coffee in the morning without having to go downstairs and run the grinder quite yet and waking up the house. And that has been a blessing for us. Some of the things that we've done outside, we love to be outside. And this may be unconventional, but it works for our family. And I want you to know that your solutions can be unconventional too, and that's okay. We have 2 sets of rocking chairs on the front porch, but then I bring their little picnic table out into the front landscaping amid the flowers and give them paper and crayons. And last summer, we had so much fun acting like we were Monet, making pictures in this area. So bringing their picnic tables simply to the front landscaping where there were beautiful flowers, buzzing of bees, and just connection with them as we dove into nature and pretended like we were this famous and beautiful artist. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of conversations. And even in our rocking chairs, we love to have like mommy daughter tea time together, where we grab some fancy tea and, connect over a book or just talk. That has been a really nice thing to have in our home. So, what does your home need to support you in cultivating these richer, deeper relationships? Take a look at your empathy exercise. Take a look at those gaps. And your action step is to then start brainstorming what are possible solutions. Some of your solutions may be big. Some may be small. Some may be the same that we implemented in our home. But what are some of those solutions that you can start with? And then take a look. Do you want to implement something big to fill that gap? Maybe you start with something small that's easy to do over the weekend. But I just urge you to take a look at that empathy exercise and make a gap smaller in your home. Because if you can cultivate deeper and richer relationships, and have your home support those, it will be a richer and deeper life for you and for your family. And it will be so beautiful. You will be on your way to creating your own Luca Haven, which is exciting for me, I will admit. So this kind of mini series here is kind of wrapping up. We talked about the philosophies and values that we have at Luca Haven and where we kind of start. Now, next week, I hope you'll join me. We're going to dive into, we have all this information. Now, how do I start this design process thing? How do I actually start implementing these? Where do I even start? That's what we're going to be diving into next week. On Monday, it will be a pre-recorded video, as I have something already on the books, but I don't want to miss this time with you. So I will pre-record that. Please catch it and also share these videos with anyone you think would find them interesting. We're always trying to grow our community so we can each have our own Luca Havens. As always, I would love to see what you're working on with your action steps. What questions may you have? Maybe what was the results of them? I would love to hear that. And if there's anything that you need help with, please reach out. I'm always available to help. And I hope that you have a awesome Saturday and a very restful Sunday. And I will see you on Monday, at least in the recording, and then I'll be back live on Tuesday. I wish you all a very happy weekend.